Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Sharmit. In this session, we are going to discuss about another very important example for ngSwitch Directive, where we will learn how to collaborate button with ngSwitch concept. Okay, so what basically we are going to do here, I'll show you one example where we will create a toggle logic with the help of buttons, and on the basis of that button, it will process the switch statements. Okay. So if you remember, like from last session also we discussed the same similar kind of concept related to ngSwitch, right? So this session is in the continuation of the same, where we are going to learn about how to create toggle with buttons and ngSwitch. Okay, but before we proceed further for the session, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released sessions first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow them sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic. Because for time being, we are just mainly focusing on how to implement a collaboration between button and ngSwitch directive. Okay, fine. So let's get started, and we are going to proceed in the similar way. Firstly, I'll explain you the requirement. I'll tell you what all prerequisites are there. We will import all required modules, define the variables, and on the basis of that data, we will build the required logic and will verify the output as well. Okay. Alright. So let's go to app.component.ts file, because the first thing that we need to use ngSwitch is the module. Which module? Common module. So now what we will do, we will simply put here in import section, we will put common module. Once it is added, it will import this line as well. That means it is imported successfully. Make sure that it is imported, because if it is not imported, you won't be able to use ngSwitch. Now once we have this module, now it's time to define one variable. It could be anything, let's say fruit. Okay, so I will write here fruit and I'll assign blank. Okay, fine. So why we have declared this variable? Because on the basis of this variable only, we will create a toggle with the help of buttons. Okay, and once user click on that button, accordingly it will process the switch statement. So this is the all thing that we want to do here in this ts file. Rest all things would be implemented in app.component.html file. Okay, so let's go there. So here I will go for app.component.html. Firstly, we will put one heading here just to show you the topic name. So here I will write button, or we can write ngSwitch with button toggle. Okay, in Angular. So this is our topic. Perfect. Now after this, what we will do, we will define the required buttons. So my first button would be like this button. Here I will write for example, or yeah, so for button, like we are talking about fruits, right? So first button would be for apple. Okay, so here what we will do, we will define one click function, and inside this click function only we will change the value. We will assign the value. So if it's a fruit and the value is apple, so we are basically checking the value here. Okay, if it's a fruit and the value is apple, then we will once user click on this button, it will change the fruit value to apple. Okay, clear? Whenever user click on this button, it will change the fruit value to apple. Currently it is blank, we saw in the ts file, right? So but now once user click on this button, it will change the value to apple. Likewise, we will create other two buttons. So now I'll create the other remaining two buttons. Here I will right click fruit, and if a fruit is, let's say, mango, so in this case, if when user click on this mango button, it will automatically assign the value to mango. Fruit variable value would change to mango. Likewise, when we create another button, in this button we will assign the click again fruit equal and inside this we will set the value as banana. Okay, so whenever user click on this button, it will set the value as banana. Okay, fine. So we are ready with these three buttons. So let's verify if it is working perfectly or not. So let's run the application, ngserve -open and enter. Wait for few seconds, it will open the application, and then you can verify the output. So let's save it and run it. Perfect. So now you can see we are getting the values like Angular Directive demo by Sharmit, and ngSwitchButton with toggle in Angular, and then we have three buttons, one for apple, one for mangoes, another one for banana. So currently like whenever we are doing any click, it is not showing anything, it is not impacting anything. Why? Because we have not so far, like we haven't written the logic for it. So for this purpose, we will use the ngSwitch statements. Okay, so let's create one div here. Now in this div we will define ngSwitch. So I will write ngSwitch, will assign the variable which is fruit, and it's a string, so we will put inside a single quote. And remember, you can see here one is double quote and one is single quote. Okay, then once the value of fruit is in the ngSwitch, it will be checked every time, and as per the condition it will run the statement. So let me put the first paragraph here. I will check star ngSwitch. Let me put star, and these all ng related things are coming from common module. Okay, so star ngSwitchCase, if it's a apple, then we will show the message apple is selected. Okay, so this is the first message. Similarly, if the value or the button is clicked and the value is selected as mango, so in that case what we will do, we will set right here ngSwitchCase mango. Okay, and here we will mention, single quote is missing, yeah, here we will mention mango is selected. Okay, so this is the second paragraph. Similarly, we will define it for the third paragraph. Here again we will use ngSwitchCase. We need to write in the same case, otherwise it will give the error. So okay, double star ngSwitchCase. Perfect. And here we will check if it is a banana. Let's put it in a single quotes again, because this is mandatory. If it's a banana, then we will show banana is selected. Okay, perfect. So we are ready with these three buttons. Now what we will do, we will simply check the output. So let's go to browser. Here once I click on apple button, okay, I think it is not refreshed, or we are missing something. Let's refresh it. Something is wrong here. Maybe anything related to case sensitivity. If the value is apple, then we are printing apple is selected, fruit is there, we are setting the value, that is also fine. What's wrong? Oh, maybe we need to rerun the application. Let's select. Or maybe we have not. Yeah, so there is a mistake. You can see we directly write ngSwitch, but it should be in the square brackets, otherwise it won't work. Okay, now you can save it and let's see the output again. So once I click on apple button, still it is not showing. Something is wrong. Let's try to find out the issue. Okay, let's close it and rerun it. Let me clear the screen for you so that you can see the command again. Serve -open and enter. It will take few seconds, and if still there is any error, then we need to check it thoroughly and we need to figure out like what is the exact issue, because it should work. We have write the logic. Okay, let's verify the logic. Okay, so let's check it again, and here, got it. Okay, so here you can see in ngSwitch we are checking the variable name, but we are considering it as a string. You can see here fruit, so it should be without single quote. Okay, then only it will check the actual value. Okay, so now it should work. Let's verify. If I click on Apple button, you can see Apple is selected. Here if we click on second button, it shows mango is selected, and for third one it shows banana is selected. Okay, so this is how it works. Now my question is how we can define the default values. So in the same way, like you can write here, please select the fruit from the above button. Okay, so here we can set this message for the default case. So I will write ngSwitchCase default, and then you can simply set it. Okay, so by default it will show this message, please select the fruit from the above buttons. So until or unless user click on any of the button, it will show only this message. Once user click any of the button, it will show the message according to that button. Okay, so mainly in this session what we learn about the concept where we are utilizing button with ngSwitchCase in order to create a toggle logic. So I hope the session is clear to all of you. In the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.